Hi everybody, my name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food on Facebook and YouTube. Well, I did a bag of pantry cleaning yesterday. Oh, my deal with myself was if I do one shelf once a week, an attainable goal, that the pantry will look better. I have I have a couple of cabinets that have doors on them, but the rest is open. It's a very old-fashioned kitchen. Some of you maybe have seen it, but yes, I did. I kind of went through and organized. I didn't have to throw out a lot, because, I've been doing this food plan for almost a year, so there were some vestiges of the past there that got tossed. It felt good. And did some food shopping yesterday. Oh, this time of year is just so abundant. It's so much fun. It's like I want my salad every single day, and yet I buy meat. So there's, you know how you do it. But maybe I will. I'll do a week of salads. I never seem to get sick of them. I do runs of things. So here we are. And the day that this is being taped is the beginning of a weekend. And I hope that your plans are good. We don't want messy Mondays. We don't want messy Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays either. I'm hoping that in the summer you haven't lost the grip of what it is that's important to you, that makes you grateful with your food. And for me, that is making sure that what I'm eating is in the tracker. And yeah, so that's what I do. And when I alter it, I go back in and change it up. Yesterday I went to Market Basket and I was able to get some good things, not a lot. Today I'm going to do Stop and Shop and BJ's. And I have to secure the steaks for tomorrow's steak night on the Big Green Egg. And so I, as promised to myself, I had a little Kindle time, so I read, it was so much fun, I read Penn Jillette's memoir of losing his 100 pounds, and I saw that he was going to be on Dr. Oz yesterday afternoon, and I missed it, darn. And it must have been a repeat because it didn't come up as new on my DVR because I tape everything new. And so I got to crack it, and really the first, I don't know if it's a couple of chapters or what, because with the Kindle it's hard to tell, but the first section of it is, if you look up denial and you wanted to get, pages of a man's sense of denial about being fat. And at the beginning, he does a lot of swearing for, I guess, shock value. He says he doesn't do it on stage, but he does it a lot, in public, in his personal life when he's not on stage. And so all the way through it, he calls himself a fat fire truck. And so it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe a psychologist would say, I'm getting there before you are, so you can't call me fat. And even though he called himself that and he looked it, and the same doctors told him to lose weight. In fact, he had to see a cardiologist because he was getting ready for the Widowmaker. He still was in denial about losing the weight. So I guess finally the doctor had the sit down with him and mentioned the sleeve. And at the weight, he stopped weighing himself at around 320. So he thinks that when he finally began to do something, he was like in the 330s. And the doctor mentioned getting the sleeve. But alas, you have to start eating healthy and losing weight to have the operation for the sleeve. And an interesting note, in case you were thinking of getting one. And so I guess he wasn't liking that idea, But then he began to like that idea. His wife liked the idea. And so there was a lot of that conversation going on in the house. And as you can imagine with somebody like Penn, there's a lot of eccentric people in his life. And he would attract them. And there's this man named Ray Cronice, and he ended up calling him Cray. Cray for the cray, crazy. And Ray, and he likes, it's apparent he likes nicknames for people, so he was calling him Cray. And Cray has this crazy food plan, and he and his Sunday school podcast producer are both overweight, and they were going to do it together. And Ray Cray says, oh no, you have to do it. You can't talk about it. And it's kind of like Fight Club. You can't talk about it. It's secret. And so I'm at the place in the book where he's about to begin 2 weeks of potatoes. And Penn, being the the man-child that he is, he tests Cray into like, well, can I have it with milk? Can I have it with butter? Can I have it with something? No. Can I eat them raw? Yes. Can I eat them baked? Yes. Can I eat them steamed? Yes. Can I eat them mashed? Yes. Can I put butter in the mash? No. And it's like, how come potatoes? And I haven't learned much about Cray yet, but he's going to do this potato thing for 2 weeks. And I think ultimately it ends up being just stopping the madness of whatever it is that you're putting in your body. And I know, because I've listened to some of his Sunday school podcasts, that it's not a food plan that I would follow. There's no meats, there's no oils, things like that. But it's the discipline and the structure, once again, that, why I hope that this channel is user-friendly for all, because it's not about what you put in your mouth. It's about, is it tracked? Is it part of your food program? Do you have the discipline to have just that and not them if you did track it? So it's not the what are you putting in your mouth, it's, what leads up to it and how are you handling it after. That we talk about a lot here, the behavior of the eating, and breaking out of the pattern that you may not even know that you're in. If you keep eating the same thing every day and you're gaining weight, and then you begin to say, wow, I need to do something about it, then you're already probably 5 to 7 pounds in. And so, then it's like, well, how many more pounds do you not want to gain to get to the place where then you really need to do something? Do you want to make that 5 to 7 to 10? I don't think so. I don't know any person that wants to make that 5 into 7 into 10. So, stopping mid-fall is always difficult, as we've talked about. Catching yourself. So I think the 2 weeks of the potatoes is just to stop the madness, because he admits that there's nothing he knows about food and nutrition. It's just he eats what he wants. And at one point, Cray says to him, you've had your quota of fine foods. And he says, well, what do you mean? And he goes, you've had a life of privilege from, his career, and you've eaten in fancy restaurants many times. And so, you might have had your quota. And so that's kind of funny, because Penn does have an excellent sense of humor, of course, and can be made sport of by the right people, I'm sure, not the wrong people. But so anyway, that's where I am in the book, and it is just very interesting to hear. I love memoirs anyway, whether they're a foodie or not, and hearing how a 330 plus man has lived with his sense of that I don't really have a problem, even though I'm calling myself a fat fire truck. And also, I guess there was an elephant in his act at the time. Oh, a cow that they costumed up like an elephant, and so he was 1/3 of what the cow weighed, and The cow was 1,100 pounds, and he was beginning to see that, like, oh. And so, anyway, people were concerned. Fortunately, something pierced at that moment. There was some divine intervention, and he's about to begin his 2-week potato journey. And I'm right there with him. It's a very readable book in my Kindle. So, anyway, that's that with that. But I'm always fascinated. Like when I go onto websites or listen to other podcasts of people, I'm always fascinated about how people want to get there, struggle to stay there. All the work that each individual does. It's so honorable. It's so amazing when somebody puts in 100% and gets back 100%. Are you putting in 100% into what you eat? Or are you casually doing some sort of silly, I'll try this for a while, maybe I'll even try it for a long weekend, and if I don't lose the 5 pounds I want to lose, then I'm not going to pay any more attention to it because that's all the time I'm putting into it. Well, we know how long it takes. We know how long it takes while we're in the woods doing what we're doing before the sun can shine through those leaves and just say, come out of the woods, get a grip, find something that works, follow it, get your motivation and your juju from wherever you get it, be it a podcast, be it a book, be it a Weight Watchers meeting, be it an Overeaters meeting, a TOPS meeting, going to Nutrisystem and getting your food, wherever it is that you go, or you can go, whoever is in your circle that supports you. And I'm not talking about a significant other that's happy that you're losing, but really wished you'd make that gooey thing that you used to make more. I'm talking about somebody that's on the journey at the same time. It's kind of like when you're pregnant and finding people that are pregnant at the same time, because you can share all the little intimacies of each day. Because when you begin on a food program, you need that, like, okay, you're 2 weeks into it together. And what does this feel like? And how is the scale for you? And what products are you buying? And what products are you trying? And what products aren't you using anymore? You know, the times that we spend $5 or $6 on an item and it just doesn't work and we don't know why we bought it anyway. So it's helpful to find people that are on the same path. It's always helpful to find somebody that's a little bit further, like maybe in maintenance, that's got a been there, done that, and doesn't want to go back there, so they've got a good message. But there's also an important message in somebody that's on the path at the same place that you're on, because you can be two people in the foxhole together, as it were, sharing what works, what your discoveries are. Because for some people that have been doing it for a while, they may forget, we may forget, the importance of the early beginning and the aha moments and the, no, that's a carbohydrate. That's not a protein. No, look up the sugars in that fruit before you have 3 of them today. Or you're thinking of your 4th because fruits are free. Just because something's free doesn't mean that an abundance of it can be good for you. And I'm talking about the free fruit. So, be mindful when somebody says something who could be a veteran of it, Google it. Don't make that your defining end moment. Do some research around it. Don't believe everything you hear here. Who knows? There could be things that I would have to backtrack on, or I have backtracked on. I don't know. We're all human, and so sometimes when the mouth is engaged, we say things that may or may not be scientifically factual. So just pay attention. Pay attention. Take a little time to pay attention. If you're reading something, make it a valuable resource. Always keep that mind nimble. We all love the guilty pleasures. I'm going to grab a People magazine when I'm sitting in a doctor's office over a National Geographic. I am. Just am. But, there are times when it's important to keep going. Get a subscription to Prevention or Health magazine or Men's Health or Women's Health or, I don't know, Even your Weight Watchers magazine, I'm sure, has interesting things for how to do things. But, you know, just pay attention. It's out there. It's abundant, just like the wonderful fruits and vegetables are this time of year. And enjoy what you eat. Dine. Dine. No paper plates. No paper napkins. Use a real plate. Use a cloth napkin. Make a meal out of a hard-boiled egg. That's how I roll. Anyway, this has been Sarah, 15 minutes of blah blah. Hope you got through your coffee. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye for now.